All right, guys, so I haven't covered Femme Shapiro in a while, and I don't mean classically Abby. I mean Brett Cooper, basically just Zoomer Shapiro over at the Daily Wire. I haven't covered her in a bit, but something happened recently that has made me ecstatic to cover her content. She has discovered Skibidi Toilet. So, before we get into that, let's get into the fan art section. We got some stuff to do here. This one is from Harley Quinn, aka Danny Kitty. Drew this while watching the subathon tonight. Had fun. Oh shoot, it changed one of the colors to pink instead of blue. I tried to fix it, but it won't fix. Aw. The next one we have here is from May. Jesus Christ. There is no context given to this except yay, Suris, but this is a very, very nice piece. Holy shit. And the last one we have here is from Smacko. I just bought Suris on the Suris verse. 10 years of drawing experience, and what do I get? This meme. We're gonna get hit with content ID for this one. If you've never seen that meme, it gets stuck in my head all the time. Chat is saying I hate you. Aww. Don't hate. Discriminate. Jesus Christ. As always, everyone, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, Brett Cooper, everybody. Let's go ahead and see how this goes.
Section, I'm Brett Cooper. I've talked, obviously.
Oh my god, you speak so fast!
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. I've talked, obviously, a lot about Gen Z. Gen Z is discussed a lot online. I'm Gen Z, so I have a vested interest in this discussion. But Gen Alpha is out in the world right now. They are a totally different breed, and I've been thinking about them a lot.
Every generation different than the last one. More things change, the more they stay the same. Wow.
Because every generation has like their thing that they grew up watching, whether it's, you know, a certain type of show, a Disney Channel thing, or a type of media that they're consuming. But this all changed dramatically for Gen Z and now for Generation Alpha, whose lives are driven by short form content. And apparently there is something online that people have been watching religiously that I have just totally missed. And we're going to talk about that today. Skibidi Toilet.
Skibidi Toilet
is the topic of conversation. Before we dive into this, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not.
Or don't do that and instead do all those things to mine. And also go to ddlgplayground.com, use coupon code Suris, get yourself something that you can use to pleasure yourself. You can get 10% off anything there using my coupon code. Or, you know, if you don't like me, then get something there anyway. No reason you should spend extra money when you go get a dildo to go fuck yourself.
I've seen a lot of weird things, but somehow I never came across Skibidi doo-dah, skippity. There we go. That's all I'm going to call it. I have literally never seen this before.
I mean, she knows how to read, right? Skibidi Toilet.
I've had guys on my team attempt to explain it to me time and time again, and I am still confused. But apparently, Skibidi doo-dah is a YouTube Shorts TikTok series that started earlier this year by YouTuber Boom. And for a while, he was posting every single day, but now it has been scaled back. I mean, he has millions of subscribers now. He got so big that
it's been scaled back because the production for every single episode has gone up. Like, the production values for the episodes has become insane on this series.
Even Newsweek did an article about it. They wrote, "What is Skibidi Toilet? Inside the eerie videos taking over the internet." And they said, in a plot line that sounds better suited to an unsettling hallucination, an army of toilet-dwelling villains, depicted as singing heads peeping out of the bathroom mainstays, has taken over the world. Each episode sees the baddies battle it out with a group of adversaries that, at least in the Skibidi Toilet world, look a little bit more conventional.
Isn't it so weird that she can pronounce it perfectly fine when she's reading? Weird that. Also, short form content Isn't it funny how things come full circle? Short-form content was the only content that existed on the internet for so long because we simply did not have the bandwidth or the storage for anything greater. So all content was short-form. And then, as technology got better and as storage solutions got better, we got long-form content, and then short-form content had a resurgence in Vine, and then YouTube tried to kill it. And then TikTok came up and did it again, and here we are again. Short-form content, it's not a new thing. It's been a thing that we have been addicted to for years. Some of the oldest strong bad emails can be fit into a YouTube short's worth of time.
Peoples whose head consist of such hardware items as cameras, speakers, and televisions, and the series sees each side gain the upper hand before power and control is wrestled back by the enemies. And all of the action takes place without any dialogue. And guys, it has a freaking IMDb. This is
yeah, because it's got one of the most compelling plots of any fiction I've ever watched. Razor says, oh, come on now. She's Gen Z. She wouldn't know history. Jesus Christ. So didn't people used to put nickels into machines to watch little shorts back in the early 20th century? God, it's funny how technology just reinvents the wheel.
This is the future of content. I remember there was a... Oh my God, what was it called? Back in like 2018, 2019, there was a app that burst onto the scene right before COVID, and they were doing very, very short form, highly produced TV shows. It went terribly, but it was like 2-minute, 3-minute episodes. I don't know. I'm totally drawing a blank on what it was.
It was Quibi, sorry.
Quibi! There we go. Yes.
Because there's a difference between a platform trying to make content that way and a multi-use platform that just happens to host that kind of content.
Quibi. So weird. Absolutely tanked. Right before COVID, I had a show that had been picked up by Quibi, and I was already really weirded out by it because I was like, my other friend that had a show was not really working out that well, and then lo and behold, nothing happened with it.
Shut it off. It didn't work. It did not work.
That...
Please, on your homophobic, transphobic, bullshit Daily Wire channel, please keep everything Team 4-Star away from your shit. I don't need to see Hellsing Ultimate Abridged used on your channel when almost nobody involved in that production would agree with any single one of the views you have.
That did not work 3 years ago, but now this has organically popped up online and people are eating it up. Like within 24 hours, these videos have millions and millions and millions and millions of views. And this is just some YouTuber who took inspiration from a few different TikTokers, made this story, and now his life and his career is totally changed. Somebody on Twitter said, I am not kidding. Gen Alpha watches this for hours a day. This is their Slender Man. Look up Skibidi Toilet on YouTube and see for yourself. Somebody said the channel's total view count exceeds 1 billion. I'm not even kidding. Somebody else said, what did we do to these kids? Tide Pods. No, that was actually my generation. Somebody else said, yeah, I think it's the right decision to keep my kid off of social media until his late teens at least. That's just a good general rule of thumb. But today, I'm going to stop being a boomer Gen Zer, and I'm going to watch Skibidi Toilet with all of you. Now, as all of this...
So now we are going to watch Brett Cooper watch Skibidi Toilet, since chat's already watched me watch Skibidi Toilet.
This has been going on. People have been making compilations of Skibidi Toilet. Well, I guess compilations is not really the best way to describe it. Like, they string together all the episodes. This one is from 3 weeks ago, but I think it is the right length for me to react to, but this is episodes like 1 through 45 or something like that. So let's just go ahead and watch together. I have no idea what we're getting into. So this is the first one.
Skibidi bum bum bum, yes yes. Skibidi dabba dee dee.
And that was it.
So for the record, the camera is actually a character in Skibidi Toilet. Just so you know. So like, the cameraman dies a lot in Skibidi Toilet, and the actual protagonists of the story are the camera men, but they get killed by the Skibidi Toilets repeatedly. You actually see also throughout the series that the Skibidi Toilets are transformed humans. I'll actually, if she gets to the scene, I'll show you.
That sound is one of the things that he was inspired by on TikTok. That sound went viral, and apparently he loved it so much that he started making videos, and now this poor man has to make videos every single day to this sound.
There are fates worse than death.
What are, I don't...
Get riding off your shit.
Okay, I haven't even given it a chance.
Yes.
Are they revolting? The toilet people? Thing
They're not revolting, they're taking over.
is, I'm thinking back to, like, my younger cousin and the weird stuff that he would watch when we were growing up. And we're just a few years apart, but there was already, like, a generational disconnect, I think. This is the kind of stuff that he would be into. And that is terrifying. Star Wars. I'm not even trying to be judgmental. I just don't know what's going on.
So just keep watching. Just the plot thickens and then it starts to make sense. It's not hard, Brett.
I would love to. How am I only 1 minute in? It looks like a New York City subway toilet. That's horrifying.
This is where they discover how to kill them.
They're revolting. But of course he's back to haunt you.
G-Man toilet.
Do you think there's gonna be like a Skibidi toilet haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights?
I don't like where this is going.
Or some
I mean, at least that one fits. He was a nationalist.
kind of haunted maze? I feel like it's good. It's good fodder for Halloween. Okay, that's what the Newsweek article is talking about. We're getting into the action now. It's like a war.
Okay, so did she just skip the one where it showed how the toilets are made? Because there actually is an episode where it shows how the toilets are made. I don't know, just in case she doesn't show it. There is an episode early on in the series for Skibidi Toilet where there's a area where a whole bunch of people are just eating food in a restaurant, and the Skibidi Toilets come in, and when the camera pans back to the people, they have, Dunaboya says, don't use JonTron, he's at least funny. Dunaboya, they can have JonTron. JonTron outed himself as, like, a nationalist in his debate with Destiny. They can have JonTron. They can have him. But in that episode, when the camera pans away to follow the toilets into the restaurant, when the camera goes back to show the actual people who are in the restaurant and eating, when it focuses on the people again, they've all been transformed into toilets at that point. So, like, we know that the Skibidi Toilets actually used to be humans, and we know that humans exist in the world of Skibidi Toilet. I mean, literally, there is a human walking down the street right here. We know that humans become toilets.
Sort of the perspective of the... I can't with the sound. I can't do it. Oh yeah, flush him. Flush him. Creative. Being chased, dancing. They're cops? Oh God. How are...
Because as they've taken over society, they are starting to take over the roles that people would normally have in society.
How am I only 2 minutes and 20 seconds into this?
Yes, yes. Yep, they've taken over, at this point, they've taken over aspects of law enforcement, fire department, stuff like that. They've also taken over religious areas to spread their own propaganda. Like here's the thing. I've watched this series a handful of times through now, and it's like, have you ever watched The Wall sober? And how that movie makes perfect sense when you're completely off your rocker, but then when you're sober as hell, you have no idea what's going on until like the 5th time you watch it. That's this movie. That's this series. Cameraman is saved by flushing.
Is this supposed to be a metaphor? Like government surveillance and suppressing an uprising. I saw some tweet that said Skibidi Toilet is based, and that was the only thing I saw. Like, there has not yet been a philosophical unpacking of Skibidi Toilet. I looked it up on TikTok. It's just people reposting the videos. Like, nobody is analyzing.
Wait. Has there not been? Do I need to do a philosophical unpacking of Skibidi Toilet? Is that a niche I need to fill? Do I need to do that? Do I need to give the do I need to do the video analyzing Skibidi Toilet and its underlying themes? Is that a thing I need to do? Oh my god. How has she missed Film Theory? Yeah, Film Theory's already done something on Skibidi Toilet. I haven't actually seen the Film Theory video on Skibidi Toilet. I should probably watch the Film Theory video on Skibidi Toilet during the subathon so that I have an idea of, like, some of the threads that are being dropped there by other people. That way I know that I'm not, like, repackaging other people's shit.
Analyzing it yet. I just don't even. It obviously is some kind of uprising. I don't know if the world is ending. I don't know if that is established later on. Like, do these toilets need my Patriot supply? Because the world is filled with
What? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That was actually a clever plug. That was a clever plug. I've already plugged DDLG Playground. So, like, I don't have to do that again. But we're gonna move past the plug.
I'll make sure I start preparing to defend myself against them, but I currently do not know who's the bad guy. All right, we can keep going. Again, I'm not even trying to be judgmental, because I know people are gonna be like, Brett doesn't get it. I want to understand.
Oh, the triple toilet!
Oh, I don't like that. That looks like Sam Smith.
Yep.
It definitely has gotten more interesting as the fighting started, but just spinning around in toilets was not appealing to me.
The G-Man toilet is here to change the... So what's funny is, as far as I've gotten in Skibidi Toilet, they still have not been able to take down G-Man Toilet. Like, no matter how strong they build a Titan, because, like, they get a cameraman Titan, they get the THX TV Titans, and we get the Speakerman Titans, none of the Titans are actually able to square up to G-Man Toilet so far.
That's new.
That's not new. It's G-Man Toilet. He was literally introduced a few episodes ago. You just apparently weren't paying attention.
I literally have a headache. What I hours a day. Imagine coming home and your kid's like glued to their phone and they're watching toilet people fight. I've talked about this before, but a lot of media was not allowed in my house growing up. Did not watch Disney Channel, didn't see most movies, and I
My God, you were a sheltered kid, and it shows.
wasn't angry about it at a young age. Like, I remember being excited because we would go to a hotel and then I would get like 20 minutes of TV time or go to a friend's house and enjoy it. But I was such a nerd and such like an outdoor kid that it really didn't bother me, so I wasn't upset about it. But my mom did not allow things in the house that she felt like went against our values, but also she was very, very clear that if it did not add benefit to your life, like if it was not educational, if it did not encourage good values, if it was not well produced, like not actually funny, that was not something that I was allowed to watch in the...
But all of those things are completely subjective. All those things are completely subjective. The values part is subjective. The well-produced part is subjective. Also, there are certain things, like, okay, there are certain things that look god-awful that become amazing. Like, just as an example, right? Look at the first episode of Glitch Tale for the Undertale alternate universe stuff, and look at the current iterations of Camilla's work for Glitch Tale. There is a huge production difference between how she made that series in the beginning and how that series is made now. Or, as another example, take a look at One Punch Man. Take a look at the way that series was born. The internet's, online comic book thing that was, and how poorly it was drawn compared to what happened when the anime came out. Axo says Underverse is better. I don't care about your wrong opinions, Axo. I don't give a shit. It turns out that the production value, the production power of any actual media does not have any bearing over whether or not that's quality media. RWBY was an incredibly fun watch that only got better with each and every season. And yeah, I'm willing to die on that hill. RWBY got better with every subsequent season, not worse. As the production values got better and as the writing staff got a better idea of what they wanted to do, and unfortunately losing Monty sucked for that production, but eventually they found their footing again, and I think RWBY's been better now than it was back then, infinitely so. So, again, if we want to just judge things on, oh well, it doesn't look proper, it's not good enough, it's not produced well enough, shut the fuck up, you entitled bitch. And that's for your mom.
Limited time that I was able to consume this kind of content. Like I said that when I was talking about Miranda Sings, like that was something that my mom said, no, she's utterly stupid. This adds nothing of value to your life. It literally is just like kills your brain cells. I'm just imagining what she's going to say when she watches this.
It doesn't kill your brain cells. Oh my God. We've been dealing with this misunderstanding about media for years. Consuming media does not kill your brain cells. Now, there is garbage media. There's garbage that you're just watching, like, say, the Daily Wire shows that don't add a whole lot to your life, but you still gain knowledge. You still gain things that you can bring to a conversation, to a table, to have a talk with people. You bring things in. You gain interests that you can then share with other people that enrich your life. Ryan Steven Boblius, thank you for the follow. As an example, somebody might say that, card games are a waste of time and they rot your brain, but then they don't see the friendships that you develop, the ability to layer strategy that you develop, and in some ways, some people go on to make financial decisions based on card games, and that's what the entire MTG finance market is, despite the fact that every person in the MTG finance market is a piece of hot garbo. That's a conversation for another day. The point is, when you look at something just on what your immediate base values are, you inevitably ignore several aspects of what makes that thing special that people who are fans of that thing take away from it. Like, again, take card games. You see, oh, you're spending money on useless cardboard that's never going to help you. And then you don't see the social skills that somebody develops through playing that game with people. The house that was broken down, that was able to be rebuilt because they made a friend in construction through playing that game. The times that person got to spend with other people they otherwise would not have been able to because of that social game. And then the ways that they learned to operate not just reflexively based on what they needed to do in the next 10, 20, 30 minutes, but started to be able to think more long-term because they started applying knowledge they gained from learning tactics in the card game to existing out in real life. You don't see all of that because you don't want to see all of that. You don't want to see that value. You don't want to see the value that those things can give to people. So, for instance, with Skibidi Toilet, what value can somebody pull from that? Well, one, narratively, I think that it's actually a very, very good series. It's very, very fun, and it's actually a masterclass on how to show compelling story without any dialogue whatsoever. So many people said, help you what? Helpfulness is not a measure. True. Skibidi Suris wins. Skibidi Suris has actually been made in fan art already, if I remember right. But let's say that you were wanting to go and be a film major. You wanted to learn how to make film, and you wanted to watch something that showed you how you can make a scene work and be compelling without actually adding any lines of dialogue. This would be a series that I could show somebody and be like, hey, watch this through. This is... Everybody communicates almost exclusively in pantomime, if they communicate at all. There's not a single line of dialogue needed for you to remember how certain characters operate, when things like the Speaker Man Titan gets taken over. None of that stuff disappears in the wayside because a character wasn't reminding you that it existed. And yet you remember that it happened as you watch the series. It's also a series that I could show somebody if I wanted to show them, hey, here's how you can communicate a lot in a very small amount of time. Which is something that a lot of people are not good at all, especially if they end up making things very, very wordy, like, say, episodes of my show.
This episode and sees what I'm watching and thinks about the next generation watching this.
Game over, man. It's game over.
prove me wrong. If this is based, prove me wrong. I will read your dissertation about Skibidi Toilet. But right now I have a headache.
I've done it all in this video right now.
They're marching towards the toilet capital?
No, they're marching to war with one another. It has been shown in various points during this series that there are designated areas that they will fight in, and they march to war against one another because neither the toilets nor the cameramen have stable bases of operation until the speakermen and the TV men come in and start giving them stable places they can operate.
Okay. Excellent. That is for Generation Alpha, 100%. Whatever that's called.
You mean the Fortnite dance? It's just a Fortnite dance.
It's not the gritty, it's something else. I'm trying to consider, which one is the bad guy? Half the time I'm like, ooh, but I think this may be just because I'm so tainted by, 1984 and our current, surveillance state that we live in. I'm like, oh.
Oh my god, shut the pretentious fuck up. The protagonists are the cameramen. Whether or not they are the good guys has not been shown.
The camera guys, they're bad. But then in the Newsweek article, they were saying that the enemies are the toilet? I have no idea.
I mean, the toilets literally prove that they do hostile takeover of your body. That's what they do. They do hostile takeover of human bodies. That's how they create toilets. We see that early on in the series. They do hostile takeover of the cameramen and speakermen bodies. This is how we lose Titan cameraman. It's the reason why the ray gun technology has to be created by the cameramen early on so that they can find a way to fight back against their literal body jacking.
Oh, now we have an infiltration. Now I'm intrigued again. Character development.
That's not character development. That is, please don't use words you don't understand. Character development is when a character goes through an arc, experiences a change. No character has been introduced here because the cameraman usually dies. There's actually only 2 main cameramen throughout the entire series. There's Plunger Cameraman and there's Titan Cameraman. Titan Cameraman gets taken out early on and has to come back later in the series, and Plunger Cameraman doesn't actually come into his own until later on.
Good God.
Yep, the assault fails.
Okay, so an ad just came up because I don't pay for YouTube Premium, so I'm gonna take that as my exit. I don't even know what to say.
Well, that just put me 90 minutes closer to death.
Do I need to change my content? Do I need to be more like Skibidi Toilet? Is that how you reach Generation Alpha? For those of you...
Or you could just not reach Generation Alpha and just stop. That would be just as good. I think we can just walk away from this one. We're done with Brett today. We're finished with Brett. Don't sully Gravity Falls. Yes, become toilet. So because Best Buy partnered with the McKinley Company over management leadership, and they said that they're not including white people. That's weird. Griff Cannon says, I'm not sure if she knows how to read. I don't know. I don't know. Look, I understand not getting Skibidi Toilet. I'm not even sure if I fully get it, but at least I've watched the series a couple of times now, so I, at the very least, can comment on somebody commenting on it. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave you guys with a couple of things here. Yes, Fire Sporks, I am in the middle of a topic. That would be why we were covering a topic. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave you guys with a couple of things. One, if you've seen Skibidi Toilet, what did you think of the series? And do you have any theories that you want to throw at me in the comment section below? Do you think I got anything wrong about the series? Shelby, think about the follow. If so, let me know in the comment section when this heads over to YouTube. But till then, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff, and insert end of video tagline